And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 113th installment of For the Fan. I am Will, and we got Jake, Dom, and Colton, who's going rogue. He's in the Aaron Rodgers hideout over in the mountains now. He's back. Did you see your shadow? Do we have 6 more weeks of winter?
I hate you.
As always, you can follow us on all the social medias down below. For the Fan Network on YouTube if you want to see us look like idiots instead of listening to us. For the Fan Network on TikTok, for the Fan _ on Twitter and or X, however you want to call it, and Instagram for the Fan Football. Week 13 was it was a week. It really was. The end is nigh. We're in the back quarter of the season. The season's going to come to an end.
Will's pain is over.
Yeah. Yep. And then the Jets, they win the free agency thing. They win the draft, and then we go back in the pain for the next 10 months after that. Oh, as always, I'm very excited for everything that happens during the NFL calendar year. But yeah, early thoughts. Week 13, yay, nay, maybe
Nay.
in between.
Nay.
No.
The Patriots lost, so I'm in a pretty yay situation.
Wow, you hit
The
that. Huh?
Yeah,
When we lost that game to the Giants, I was hoping that field goal was on purpose. That miss was on purpose. So I'm 100% at that point. Yes.
Wow, it wouldn't be the first time someone tanked against the Giants.
I mean, can't believe the Chargers ran up the score on the Patriots. Can't believe them. Brandon Staley is a menace.
Garbage time field goal. Then that second one, obviously. Brandon Staley's a
We're gonna
menace.
have to get into that because
You're right.
only getting 6 points against the Patriots is just criminal.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and you are listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
And thank you for tuning. What's so funny over there, Dom?
No, I'm just thinking about your guys' point of view. Me and Jake had an entire conversation during that time, and you guys can't see it, or you guys can see us, but can't hear it. So Will and Colton just have the view of me and Jake looking at each other, having an entire conversation during that, and no one knows.
I just sing the theme song. That's all I really do. I just go through, and I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna be bobbing my head, just talking it out, and all that stuff.
That's what I do half the time.
Gotta get into that move. Gotta get in the grind. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the injury report because yet again, another week goes by and more NFL quarterbacks get hurt. The starting ones, to be exact. So we're gonna start out with the unfortunate situation in Pittsburgh between the 11 weather delays that ended up happening in the course of their Week 13 game. Kenny Pickett, I think it was on the goal line. He dove for a touchdown, or he was going for it. Hurt his ankle, was seen in a boot, got surgery on Monday, high ankle sprain, not an IR candidate. 2 to 4 week injury they're projecting, but he's not playing Thursday Night Football. Along with the Thursday Night Football, the Patriots released everyone that's already been projected out. And let me just scroll and get that right here. Ramondre Stevenson's out, Demario Douglas is out, Keyshawn Boutte, he's out, and Riley Reif is also out. Najee Harris didn't practice this week due to a knee injury. He is questionable. Despite the very bad loss that the Eagles had, there's some light into it. Dallas Goedert practiced fully today for the first time since the forearm injury, right before he could get that revenge against Dallas and, give them, everything he has. But also DeAndre Swift, he did not practice today for the Philadelphia Eagles. We've also seen the Jets announce Zach Wilson as quarterback with the carousel of just everything could go wrong with the New York Jets. He's going again. And, one suspension. Colts defensive end suspended 6 games due to a violating the NFL's performance-enhancing drug policy. And let's also go back into the game Monday night. Trevor Lawrence, ankle injury, couldn't get out off his own power, carried to the locker room. Seen in a boot, doesn't look like he's going to be playing Week 14. Christian Kirk, the highly prized meme of 2022's free agency class, thinking, hey, why are we going to pay this guy $16 million to play wide receiver? He showed out that he deserves the money and then some. Unfortunately, abdominal injury that he suffered on his first catch. He is out the rest of the regular season due to that injury.
Is that the Trevor Lawrence injury? Is that similar to the Kenny Pickett injury? Both I know are not like season-ending
They're
injuries.
both high ankle sprains.
But yeah, right. It's pretty similar thing.
I think it's for Trevor Lawrence. They said it's kind of like I don't know, some like ligaments to like the fibula kind of thing. So it's like I'm not sure if they're the same, but it's kind of like hamstring injuries. Like not all of them are the same.
Yeah,
So
it's not. I think he's in a better spot, Trevor Lawrence, than Kenny is. Kenny had tightrope surgery to speed up the process of his injury, and they're leaning more towards the end of December, possibly against the Bengals. And Trevor Lawrence, I think, is like week to week is what it seems like. I saw like quotes and reports out of the Jaguars camp Monday out of the locker room that Trevor Lawrence was smiling and players in the locker room were smiling. So I'm assuming he's probably out 1, maybe 2 weeks max. I mean, I guess I'll see how everything's shaping up in the AFC South and go from there. I mean, if they got to win a game before the Texans catch them, we'll see. But I think he's clearly out this week, and I think they're going to go week by week with Trevor Lawrence and how he's feeling because they have a lot on the line. So you don't want to rush him back too early. And
Trevor said in a press conference that he said, he's not worth risking for his team, or whatever. Coming back early, it's not worth it. It's not worth taking that risk, blah, blah, blah. If they got to wait another week.
It's usually like a 4-week injury.
Yeah. Well,
most high ankle sprains are like around 4 weeks, give or take a week or two.
Then there's that tightrope surgery. I know Mac had it last year.
I think Hurts had that in college.
Maybe.
Year.
I know it's common. It's definitely common.
You come back usually a little quicker when you have the one surgery done where they, drill it back together.
Yeah. But I think that means that Kenny Pickett's injury was probably worse than, Lawrence's was. So
yeah, I know Ryan Tannehill last season when he injured his ankle second against the Chargers, he had the tightrope surgery, but he didn't end up coming back before the Week 18 matchup against the Jaguars. I mean, I think it all just depends on time and how the body heals.
Yeah.
One final injury though, Mike McCarthy had an appendectomy, appendix surgery.
True.
Yeah, so he says he's going to be on the sideline for Sunday against a very big NFC East matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. So,
I got to correct you. Swift was not on the injury report today.
Did he practice?
There was only 2 players that didn't practice. It was Julio and Slay.
You see, Adam Schefter fooled me.
But
got
also,
me.
They got not only was Dallas Goedert back, but Grant Calcaterra was back, the second string tight end.
And I may as well throw in a quarterback news here too. Josh Dobbs is the starter for the Vikings Week 14 as they're trying to keep their playoff hopes alive as everything's trying to go off with them. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good roundup of how the injuries look. And let's look at the also correct playoff picture while we're at it here.
You're also correct.
Are you sure? Are you
playoff
sure?
Picture. Love
yes.
I love your confidence.
I took it from ESPN's playoff picture machine, so I know it's correct.
Okay.
So here's how it is after Week 13. The Dolphins are now the 1 seed. Baltimore falls to 2, but they were on a bye, so they're still fighting that half a game out against the Dolphins. Kansas City 3, Jacksonville 4, Pittsburgh 5, Cleveland 6, and the Colts are at 7. And then for the NFC side, the Eagles 1, the Niners are 2, Detroit's 3. Our favorite team in the entire world, the Atlanta Falcons, are at 4, followed by Dallas at 5, the Vikings at 6, and the Green Bay Packers, who have fought their way back into the playoff picture, sit at number 7, booting Seattle out of the picture if the playoffs would start today. Wow.
Tell you what, the Texans not being in there is wild to me right now. I mean, I it's also saying the Texans not being in the playoffs is a normal thing to say, but for this year, the Texans not being in there right now is pretty wild to me.
They
And-
are on the bubble.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're probably the first team out, but
Yeah.
Indianapolis, man, I mean, would have not suspected that from them. I know, Gardner Minshew has not been bad, and he's played in pretty much every game this season, whether he started or not. But Jonathan Taylor coming back was huge, obviously, and just the team still put it together, and good for them. Good for them. Cleveland, I mean, there's 13 teams, I think, that have a backup starting for them now. So, like, it's a pretty, common thing right now in the league. It's almost half the teams.
Yeah,
But-
look at 4 through 7 for the AFC. I mean, they're all backup starting this week.
Well, Jacksonville, I mean, we haven't really seen them start one yet.
I
But
mean, Lawrence isn't going to be playing this week, so
Yeah.
like you're going to be CJ Beathard.
we don't know how they're going to perform with that, though, but that's tough. And Pittsburgh, again, not so much as well. That's been pretty much Pickett most of the season. But Cleveland and Indianapolis really battling through is nuts. Minnesota in there is nuts. Atlanta being, that division blows.
Okay, it's like the NFC South is like top 10 pick, or you're going to be picking at the end of the teens, early 20s. That's just how it is.
Good for them having the spot, though, man. I mean, there's a lot of backups in this league. So these teams still being able to put this stuff together, like Minnesota, like Cleveland, like Indianapolis, for a substantial part of their season and continuing forward.
See, I really wish the score showed divisional record when they showed you the standings,
Yeah.
because I know Houston's also 7-5, but yet they have, I guess, the tiebreaker from how many division games are they separate?
They're separate.
I would have to assume it's probably like one game.
I'm assuming. I think I
Houston
can
is
say
1-2 in the division. Indianapolis is 3-2. Jacksonville is 4-1. So that's a 2-game difference there, right there for the Texans. So that's kind of big.
from Indy.
Yeah, Indy's 3-2, and the Texans are 1-2. That's substantial, and that's big. That's obviously making the difference.
How many times have they played each other though? 'Cause
Yeah, I don't know.
That's literally it right there.
I know the last 6 weeks of this season now we have a lot of division games coming up. That middle road of the season
Well, they have.
feels like there's not that
They
many
also
division
play the
games.
Browns head to head coming up at the end of the year. The last 4 weeks of the year for the Texans are Titans, Browns, Titans, Colts.
Yeah,
So
that's 3 division games.
three
right
divisional
there.
games plus a team that you're trying to chase for a wild card.
That's
They
wild.
they are in sole possession of like the one spot outside the wild card right now. They are the only 7-5 team sitting outside the wild card for the AFC, so they have the best chance at getting in if they were to beat one of these teams out. Then you have a few after that, so I'm not going to name them all. But
Yeah, I can name like the next 3 out for each side. So for the AFC, Texans, then the Broncos, and then the Bills.
and technically also Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati's at 11. And then on the NFC side, the Rams are on the doorstep at 8, followed by the Seahawks at 9, the Buccaneers at 10, and then the Saints are at 11.
Man, Seattle is not.
Technically, the Saints are like 4 because they're only 1 game behind Atlanta.
Yeah, those are true. But Seattle.
Word.
Jake's computer shut off over here. Seattle, man, what a slide. I mean, that's not fun. Obviously, them being looking in from outside right now is not fun.
And their schedule doesn't get easier from here.
No. Even though they had a substantially great game this past weekend, even though they lost, they're still in it.
Let's look ahead to our 3.0 power rankings, or 3/4 of the way through power rankings.
All right, let's do this. Jake can't really see too, which kind of sucks, but
Yeah, you want to just riff for like half a second here? Let my computer
well, I can bring them up. I got you.
restart.
So here's our week 10 power rankings. If you can see here, we have there's some questionable stuff in here. Thinking about the league and the shape that it's in now, comparing some of this stuff. The Bengals obviously being down Joe Burrow now compared to when we did this makes a huge difference. And stuff like that. You can see the big changes. The Bengals, by the way, went up 12 spots here, and then they lost Burrow since. So you got to think they're probably going to swing pretty decently back down from that 5th spot right there. But yeah, let's continue with this.
Swung all the way up with
To
Joe
swing.
Burrow getting healthy.
Yeah,
And
just
then
to swing back down. It's brutal. And we'll see that in a second. All right, so I'll go back to this again. You know, on the right column here, to the right of that, you have the up and down arrows. That'll tell you the difference from week 10 moving forward. So this is my frame of reference going forward. So all the changes you see in this new power rankings is from that week 10 board that I just showed. So let's show, I believe I show the bottom 3 or 4. There you go. Patriots last place, which is wild to me, but I'm a Patriots fan. That might be a little bit of bias. They also can't score a point, and they've scored 13 points in the last 3 weeks, which is just insane. Carolina with the worst record in the league. They're in second to last. Then we seem to find ourselves here every year with the New York teams being back-to-back in the power rankings all the way at the very bottom. And here they are again.
how are the Giants ahead of the Jets?
I put the Giants ahead.
I put the Giants, I think. Tommy DeVito, man. I mean, Tommy DeVito's has more energy.
Listen, whatever his mother's feeding him with the cereal that she pours him in the morning and the chicken cutlets when he returns from practice. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Giants are finding success, and, you know, Tommy DeVito's making sure they're not picking a quarterback next season.
Yeah, I personally chose them just because Tommy DeVito. I mean, he has more energy in any of these games than any of this Jets offense quarterback carousel thing going on. So, I mean, that's just kind of where I was at. Colton, thoughts?
Yeah, the dumpster fire down here. So I don't got much to say. They're awful. The New York teams, they blow. Carolina's been disappointed firing Frank Wright. David Tepper's a nut job of the owner. And the Patriots, yeah, the defense has been great, but the offense is absolute garbage. And they're going to get worse with no Ramondre Stevenson.
Facts.
Feed
Yeah, no,
Zeke.
that offense, it's just dumpster fire, abysmal, just absolutely trash. But let's show the next group here. I'm pretty sure we have some decent swings in this next group. We do. The Washington Commanders swinging down 9 spots, which I don't even know if it's deserved, but that's where we had them. The Saints moving down 7 spots. Arizona, obviously, now with the emergence of Kyler Murray since our last power rankings, moving up 7 spots. I think they were in the 31 position previously.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, thoughts?
I mean, Washington falling, 9 spots is not surprising, considering the fact their defense cannot stop a nosebleed. And, they also trade away Sweat and Chase.
For me, it's the Saints. It's a team that I think a lot of people had winning the NFC South, and the fact that Derek Carr can't get out of his own way. Dennis Allen's going to get canned after the season. He should probably have been canned before the season. Yeah, shit show in New Orleans. God almighty. I didn't think they were going to be this bad, and they're a dumpster fire. So, Chris Olave's having a solid season. Michael Thomas hurt yet again. Slant Boy's gone. So,
don't say Slant Boy. We're going to piss off some Saints fans, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're going to get roasted again.
I've defended the Saints enough so they cannot roast me. I've defended them enough. So, they're a disaster. That's probably like the biggest disappointment of the season. For me, it's the Saints. So seeing them down here is an absolute shit show for New Orleans.
I think it's so surprising too. Like, you watched the game this past week, and they put Taysom Hill on a quarterback. Everyone's cheering, like, "Yeah, let's go Saints!" And then Derek Carr comes in, the boos are pouring.
That was
on
brutal.
him.
That was brutal.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yeah,
you get.
I don't know what's worse, Derek Carr's play or David Carr saying Marcus Mariota should be starting for the Eagles. I don't know. Not a good week to be a member of the Carr family.
Oh my God! How do we not bring that up before this? I don't think I've ever heard a stupider thing in my life. What is going on with that family?
Should we start Sam Bradford or should we start this other person? Huh? It's Chip Kelly's offense all over again.
Let's open up the next. I think the next portion has some of the biggest swings, and I think we'll see a name I brought up recently. Oh no, we don't. Never mind. I'm not there yet. All right. Well, here we go. We have Tampa Bay sitting at the exact same spot. Vegas somehow actually moving down. I'm kind of surprised about that after the Anthony Pierce.
Yeah, that's just bad.
Hiring.
I
I don't know how we managed to put them lower.
I was the only person who had Vegas above the Chargers.
Yeah, well, I don't know how I feel about that
You
either.
didn't even back me on that one.
I don't know how to feel about the Chargers. The Chargers moving down 6 spots, though, is, correct, to be honest.
They are lucky they're out.
We should have put him at 32 and really just started a.
Yeah. Torches in the air and everything.
They're really no different than the Saints right now. A team that should have been good and is just an absolute dumpster fire.
Oh, yeah. People that need to be fired. It is a dumpster fire. It's wild, man. The Chargers really have no business being anywhere in this realm of teams.
I see Colton's bias is pulling Atlanta down again. He didn't even realize he's muted.
Colton, what do you think about this? If you can,
he's adjusting his camera right now, or he's charging. No, he's charging his phone. I think that's what he's doing.
Right. We've been there.
Yeah, again, guys, holding Atlanta down. The NFC South is awful, boys. I'm not going to pump them up because they're winning their division right now. Absolutely not. Not doing it.
Where is this? Do we have the whole NFC South here? Right?
Yep, the whole NFC South is there. No, because here, when I did this, from 21 to 32, it was easy to rank these teams. And then you get to 20 where it starts, okay, here's 500 teams. It's hard for me to put the Falcons ahead of some teams, despite them being the leader in the NFC South. I don't even think they want to win the division. It's just the luck is on their side of just facing teams that just can't, comprehend, quarterback play. So it's easy for them just
they want another top 10-ish pick to draft.
Like
they don't use.
the entire NFC South is going to be a top 10 pick, and then here's like whoever wins it's going to be like up at number 20.
It's true.
No, they're going to be at like 19. There's no way that they can have worse. I don't even know how you could call it. I think Colton's losing this battle here, but that's just throwing me off.
Apparently it is. Will's having trouble with words. Colton's having trouble with his phone. All right. Hey, impaired. That's all we are.
Yep.
Let's move to this next portion. I believe there it is. That's what I wanted to see. There's 2 reasons I only have this portion being 2 teams. One,
is this where the Bengals were when we first did this?
Let me see if I can scroll up quickly. You just keep going.
Well, I got you. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let's see.
Oh, you got it?
12 spots. 1 off, Will.
Well, no, I'm talking about like the very first power rankings.
That's yeah. No, that was that 12. Them moving up 12 spots. They were in 17th. They were in 17th. So close.
Okay, so
Yeah.
They're on that roller coaster ride. Maybe they'll go back up before the season ends.
Gigantic roller coaster ride. But them moving, so they swung up 12 spots. Now they swung down 13 spots. It is an absolute roller coaster for the Bengals. And then the other thing I would like to say, which I don't have a bone to pick with anyone here entirely.
I already know who it is. It's me. It's definitely me.
Yeah, no, it's 100% Will.
Yeah.
Will, are you surprised where the Colts are on this?
Honestly, I am pretty surprised. I don't know. The Colts have been playing really good football, and that has to be, shown. I'm recognizing the Colts as playing good football.
You are. Will,
okay.
I don't know.
I know when we first talked about it, we thought, oh, hey, 5-win team, no Jonathan Taylor, season's a disaster. I don't know. Shane Steichen has something good going for him now in Indy, and, Gardner Minshew's playing good. And now Jonathan Taylor's hurt again, so let's see if Zach Moss and, I don't know who else is on the team can revitalize that, missing piece in the Colts backfield. But I'm a little surprised that they are 17.
It's almost like Shane Steichen's a good offensive coordinator or mind.
Well, I would like to say this is where the combination of all of us managed to put the Colts. Will put the Colts at 10,
I put him at 10. Yeah.
a top 10 team. And that blew my mind because the three of us did not do that. Three of us obviously didn't do that because they landed at 17 with Will putting them at 10. So that was wild to me. That was extremely wild to me. But yeah, no, I just wanted to show that and see how surprised Will might be that they were there. So yeah, I don't know. There you go. Nice. All right, next section. Now that I made this small too again because we're about to have some big swings in the next section. But here we are with Cleveland moving down 5 spots. I mean, when you go from Deshaun Watson to Joe Flacco, that might happen to you. Buffalo moving down out of that top 12 that they were previously because it's a little bit fraudulent. And then Pittsburgh 14 stayed.
I'm gonna need Colton to justify this one if he's actually here.
Yeah, the fact that
I had a very difficult time placing Buffalo in a spot.
Yeah.
Cleveland in
Yep.
a very good spot.
Yep.
Like it was a very tough loss against the Rams team that they should have beaten.
Mm-hmm. Remember, that's a team that beat the 49ers as well. Like, I mean, that's like the craziest
I mean, now they might have elite quarterback play because I don't know if DTR is going to be playing. They might have Joe Flacco, who's the greatest quarterback to ever step foot on a football field. That's a debate for another day. Okay. But I don't know. I found it very difficult to rank them. And now the injuries are going against them now.
No, it's hard. Also, with the defensive player of the year candidate, like, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to rank a team like that. You know, it definitely is.
I also didn't know Denzel Ward has been out the last couple weeks. All of a sudden, the Browns posted like, "Oh, look who's back at practice." I'm like, he wasn't at practice the last however many weeks.
Yeah, Colton, how you doing? How we doing? Are you alive? What's going on? You good? How you feeling?
This is awful. This is a bad time over here. This is awful.
Colton's straight up not having a good time.
I'm not. My phone's gonna die on me. I'm trying to do everything I can. This will happen when the phone's old. I'm trying to do everything I can. It's on 3%. I started this thing at 25. This thing we've only been doing this for 25 minutes. It is straight plummeted. So I'm trying to do everything I can so it doesn't.
Damn,
die
it plummeted like the
So-
Bengals, man.
So yeah, I feel like what I did with the Colts, I plummeted them in my power rankings. And Will, you had them at 10? That is asinine. Asinine. You
Well,
had
what's
them at 10.
what's worse, the Colts at 10 or Pittsburgh at 11?
I mean, easy. I mean, we're also gonna act like the Colts did. The Colts should have lost to the Titans by quite a bit. They get a touchdown on a block punt, and then one that puts them inside the 5.
Well, I mean, the
They
second
suck.
punt they blocked. I mean, they blew out Stonehouse's leg. It bent the other way.
God, sure did. That was fugly to watch. Oh God, poor bastard.
I don't know what was worse, Stonehouse's leg bending or the chain gang in the Saints game.
Oh,
That was terrible.
Stop it.
The chain gang was
you
so
should go to
bad.
hell for this. What you're bringing up right now. Oh,
so Colton, you did not bring down Indianapolis. I had them a step higher, and Jake had them a step lower. So the three of us were consistent.
really?
Will's the one that shot them. Out of a
I
so
listened to
if I'm gonna-
Creed
if
one
I'm gonna
time.
Go back, I got probably switch. How low did I have Buffalo compared to the Steelers?
You had
Yeah.
Buffalo at 12 and Pittsburgh at 11.
All
Yeah.
right, well that doesn't
Yeah.
make a huge change, but I'd switch to 2 of those probably. I don't think Cleveland's better than the Steelers. I don't think the Colts are better than the Steelers. The Steelers just beat the Bengals. That's kind of why I have them here. Not gonna lie to you.
I mean,
And the
the
Steelers would have easily beaten the Bengals if Deontay Johnson could catch a football. And the Steelers easily win the game, and it's not a 6-point game. The Steelers win by over 10 points.
Who could catch a game-winning catch? Quentin Johnson or Deontay Johnson?
Oh God,
Level impossible.
Valdez
the
Scantling.
poor Chargers. The poor Chargers. Awful.
I mean, I think
Oh.
Scantling would have caught that ball if the guy wasn't on top of him. Like, I think he could have caught that late in the game.
Recent game.
He's been awful.
Gotcha.
Ugh.
All right, let's show the next portion, and the next portion is kind of exciting. We have the Rams moving up 12 spots. We had them at like 25 or something last time. Wild. We have Seattle moving down, depressing. Then we have Denver, shooting up 16 spots. Green Bay shooting up 16 spots. Green Bay's been on a run. Denver has won some great games for themselves. And the Rams kind of have a healthy-ish team at the moment. So obviously huge changes for those spots.
By the way, you take your shots at the Steelers. Steelers just beat those Packers not too long ago. I believe right before we did our power rankings for Week 10. By the way, Steelers beat them, and the Steelers beat the Rams. So and by the way, the Rams were healthy when they played them, and it was in LA. Again, that's why I have the Steelers where they are. Trust me, they're dumpster fire now when you watch them. But I'm sorry they beat those teams. I don't know what to tell you, so I'm going to put them over them.
And the Steelers are currently in the playoffs as well. I mean, you can't.
I trust me. I know they're not good. Like the AFC is not good, and they're botching.
I wouldn't say there's not. I wouldn't say the AFC is not good. There's just too many good teams fighting for just 3 spots.
That's right. Well, and there's also a lot of injuries that would change things drastically. But
Yeah,
again, sticking with what's hot and what's not, Green Bay is definitely one of the hottest teams in football right now. Jordan Love is proving why he was taken so high as he was, and they're getting it going there in Green Bay, and that is not a team you want to play. And the poor Giants have to deal with that Monday night, so they're going to get the railroaded by the Packers Monday night.
Will, when was our AFC West prediction episode? Was that was like
the very first
very first one? So middle or end of July?
I mean, I can pull it up. I could probably find the part where I said I think the Broncos could make a run at the playoffs if if the planets align for them. They can do it.
Will might have been the only one that said that in that.
Because I made the whole thumbnail and all that stuff, and I put playoffs.
I literally don't remember that episode whatsoever.
Oh, that was midsummer, but
you were probably melting in the chair there.
Oh, we were melting in these chairs.
Melting. But we basically said the Broncos were trash, and here we are. So I mean, there's that, I guess. But let's move next section. What do we got? We have the 9876 section. Jacksonville. I mean, I had a tough time ranking them because Trevor Lawrence, and I don't quite know what his playing status, like when his return's going to be, and I don't know if it's going to be at the end of it. I don't know. So I had a tough time ranking them, but they land at 9. 8 is the Texans. They shot up from outside the top 12.
They were 13.
Yeah, man, to the 8th spot, top 10. Good for them, even though they're not in playoffs. So, Will, if you want to make an argument about your Colts being 17 here and instead of 10 and whatnot, I mean,
it's what everyone believes in. I mean, if you look at what the Texans, the Jaguars, and the Colts with their remaining schedule, the Texans have the 3rd easiest, the Colts have the 6th easiest, and then the Jaguars have the 10th easiest remaining.
Wow. Yeah, so that's kind of
but here's the thing though. The Texans have a 69% chance, to make the playoffs. And then ESPN ranks the Colts as like a 6% chance of making the playoffs.
Fair.
So yeah.
Because of Houston's record. So if they get the better division by playing the Titans twice, and then all they gotta do is beat the Colts that one time, and then they're in.
It's true.
That's it.
That is true. And then we got the Chiefs falling after their loss this past week, and Miami moving up 2 spots to kind of sit right outside that top 5 still. So
I don't know. The Chiefs, they are lucky. They should honestly have like 3 more losses than they should wins. I don't know. The referee, the reffing and all that stuff has just sided with them so much, especially with like the Jets game. The Vikings, I think they should have lost to the Vikings in Week 5.
Well, yeah, that there was 3 penalties on one play they didn't call.
Yeah, so listen, they should be a way worse team right now.
I still don't understand how you don't get a penalty when the ref tells you to put your helmet back on. It's an automatic flag.
By the way,
put it on.
People were complaining about the missed defensive pass interference in that game for them, but I do not feel bad at all when Patrick Mahomes gets that rough in the passer or a late hit call,
defenseless player or whatever. Yeah,
I no, do not.
Meanwhile, Justin Herbert gets obliterated,
killed.
I love how
and then the offensive line gets I
love how the media avoids that. By the way.
Yeah,
that's like, oh wait, the missed defensive pass interference. No. Look, 2 plays ago when they got gifted 15 yards. Don't give me that shit.
The other games that they literally got handed to them because of
reffing. Don't give me that crap. Oh, was there? Yes, of course that's defensive pass interference. Was that a late hit out of bounds? Absolutely not. No, it's just that it was Patrick Mahomes and he got the call when Justin Herbert's clearly 2 steps out of bounds and got lit up by the Ravens and no call. So, don't give me that crap. Absolutely not. That's Mahomes' call. He got gifted 15 yards. So, I think the Revs evened it out with that no DPI call. So, eat me, Kansas City.
Nothing I would love more is for the Chiefs to start the playoffs at a 3 seed because I want to see what Mahomes can do on the road in the playoffs because we've never seen it. The only road games he plays are the Super Bowl.
I'm telling you,
I want to
they-
see him as a 3 seed and go
they need to
divisional
upgrade
round.
at
They
wide
go
receiver
somewhere.
very badly this offseason. They need to seriously do it. Otherwise, they are going to be in a little bit of trouble because Kelsey ain't getting
What do
any
you mean?
younger.
What do you mean?
And
They got
teams are just
Sky
learning
Moore.
if you can
They
just,
traded that 3rd-round pick for Kadarius Toney. Come on,
yeah, and that hasn't
making
worked
those
out too
moves.
well, has it?
Here and there. Here and there. I mean,
Well,
that's it.
he's had every opportunity. The wide receiver room sucks, and he can't do anything. I mean, this week he was still useless. I think the only thing he had was a rushing, like 6 yards rushing. He was useless again this week.
I mean, he needs to basically be Debo Samuel. I mean, that's like
Well,
his
the problem
role.
he's not built like Debo. He's
No.
like he's built like Tyreek Hill.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next portion. I believe it's only Detroit just kind of sticks where they're at. Dallas.
Dick, I think you
didn't-
hold on. You guys
Stop the train. Stop the train.
The disrespect to the Miami Dolphins is still crazy to me.
They've yet to be a 500 team. I don't know you.
The Lions have looked like dog water the past few weeks. Congratulations. They let up the Saints this week and then almost let the Saints back in. These guys, yeah.
Well, the Saints
telling you-
almost won because Jameis Winston's a much better quarterback than what Derek Carr was
telling you
producing.
right now, the Dolphins are way better
Colton.
than the Detroit Lions.
So you
I
know-
can't believe you guys are still riding these guys as hard.
No,
as
you know how I've been all about Detroit this year, right? Do you know who had the Detroit the lowest? This guy.
Really? Yeah, I just think it's crazy that the Dolphins are not a top 5 team. Like I find that very crazy.
I mean, I still consider them frauds. They still have yet to be a 500 or better team. I mean,
We talk about how good the Jets defense is, and they lit them up like the 4th of July, Dom. Like we
It's
say
still
how
like
good
a
that Jets
500
defense is.
team,
I know
like,
the
I don't-
offense blows. They lit them up through 2 picks.
the Lions
they
have
still
beat
put a shit ton
500
of
teams
points.
more than once this season. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
man.
just
I can't.
I don't know how you
not have the
reconcile
Dolphins
that.
in the top. Who had the Dolphins the
beat
lowest?
teams that have.
I had the Dolphins
I
at
am better
6.
than Detroit.
I think Miami's still extremely fraudulent. They still have yet to prove anything to me. I mean, cool, you can run up the score on the Commanders or whatever it is. Like, I'm not impressed by that. I'm not. And I don't think they're going to do bad against teams that are good. I don't.
Find out.
I
They
don't
got
think
they got a big
we
boy
have yet to
schedule
find
coming up.
out. They've
They got a
lost.
big boy schedule coming up.
They
And
have
by
to.
the way, if they beat those teams, I'm going to be very obnoxious since you all have been very negative on the Dolphins. So you better hope to God the Dolphins are not winning any of those games.
Who's been negative about the
'Cause
Dolphins?
I'm going to be very obnoxious.
One
Yeah,
guy.
it's
Just
probably
this
one
one.
guy. Yeah.
One guy has been negative about the Dolphins.
I mean, me and Colton do this like every year.
I mean, let's just remember this, okay? Dom said the Dolphins are going to finish last in the AFC East, and the Patriots are going to finish above them.
The worst take I maybe have ever had. My
No.
AFC East rankings.
Gotta bring that one back.
Yeah.
Wolf.
I own up to that. I own up to that.
Wolf.
I own up to that 100% of the way. I think I went Jets because of Aaron Rodgers, Buffalo, Patriots.
I think
Miami.
I have the Dolphins first.
You probably.
I
It's
think
probably them or Josh Allen.
Miami
Yeah.
top. I
You
was
know
the only
what?
person that had Miami winning division.
I think Jake's
Yeah,
right.
I had Miami at 7.
Ah.
I don't know, but to
My-
talk about the 2 teams that Dom revealed here, I have to give Dallas their flowers. They have played lights out. I mean, Dak Prescott is looking like an MVP candidate. CD Lamb now looks like a number 1 receiver, so I think the topic and all that stuff can officially stop going about that. But who knows what happens when they play, a lot of, the Dolphins in a couple weeks and, the Eagles on Sunday. So let's see how that goes. But
Hey Jake, I did some research of my own, buddy.
we saw your camera went out.
We're together. We both took the Fins to win the division.
Nice. So then why are you flaming me saying I've been low on Miami?
Whoa, I'm flaming the guy that's underneath of me. Relax. I'm flaming the guy underneath
Listen,
me.
he's
There's
trying to
the
get back in
Falcons
those
lover.
picks, okay? You might start rigging it. For all I know.
Falcons, Mr. Loverboy underneath of me. That's who. By the way, my awful take was on the Saints, but don't worry. I can still backdoor into a division win with the Saints. Dominate backdoor in the freaking Patriots shit. Get that homer
That's a
shit
fact.
out of here.
That's a fact. I will say Dallas also only win against a 500 team this past week, and they barely barely squeaked that one out against Seattle. So that's
Well, I mean, I'm okay with them squeaking it out because it gave us the best Thursday night football game we have seen all
it's
year.
okay for the Cowboys, though. It's okay for Dallas. Oh God, put the star on Will's head. Put it on. Jeez.
Well, no,
Louise.
I just want to give kudos to that game because hey, it was a great game.
it was like
I
the
was
only
entertained the
Thursday night
entire
game that
time.
was
Probably the first one ever.
good. Yeah.
Well,
there's-
you know why? Because both teams had 7 days to prepare for it.
True.
True. Also true. All right, let's do the next section. Our top 3 here. Boom. Now, I'm going to say something. Baltimore and Philly were exactly a tie. Baltimore and Philly were exactly a tie. There's nothing I could do to tie break it. There's literally nothing that I could have done to do anything to tie break it. So I just took our last rankings and kept whoever was ahead of who.
You should have did a coin flip.
Sure. But like my coin flip was whoever was ahead of who last time stays ahead of them, and that's that. And they just shift down a spot.
I think this Baltimore biasness is coming out now.
I mean, there's nothing you could do about it. There's literally no tiebreaker I could make in that scenario. So, but the 49ers go from, I think they moved to the 6th spot. Now they move back up to 1. I think we might have had them at 1 in our first power rankings, maybe. Definitely top 2. Yeah, so they're back in that spot. 1 beating the Eagles, and 2 they're just kind of healthy and they're doing their thing, and that's just how it goes. Good defense.
The last one was right in the middle of them losing 3 games with no Trent, no Debo, and
no.
Yeah, I forget who the third one
McCaffrey was a little bit hurt. Yeah. But they're back there. So that's just that. Yep.
What can I say? They're one.
I'm just an 800-pound gorilla in the room.
I just can't believe that you guys, off of like the hype of one couple good games, are putting Baltimore ahead of Philly.
I mean, Baltimore has,
Baltimore's been very good. Are we forgetting that, Jake? They've been.
They're very good. I had them at 3, but what's the rationale here? I need to understand.
They smoked your Lions that everyone loves in this group for some reason. They smoked Seattle. They're very good. The Ravens are very good, and they'd be number 1 if it wasn't for their.
How do those teams compare to Kansas City, Miami, and Dallas?
We just talked about how Kansas State's a bunch of frauds, and they're not that good.
Okay, what about Dallas and Miami? You just were standing.
We also just said how they haven't beaten.
Standing for Dallas.
We also just said they haven't beaten anyone good. So
no, you
getting to
you didn't. You were all about them.
Oh, Dallas hasn't beaten anyone over 500 except for this week. Congratulations. And then you said the same thing about Miami. So you're proving
I didn't say
why I have them over.
Why do you keep confusing what he says with me?
Well, you just said, why do I have them higher? And you just named Dallas and Miami. And we just said that they haven't beaten anyone over 500. Dallas just did. So
now it's convenient to use Dom's talking point when you were just fighting it 2 seconds ago.
I could fight Dom every single week on his point.
I think you're earning the fraud label. You flipped like a pancake.
I didn't flip like a pancake. I've had the Ravens up top the whole time. I haven't flip-flopped.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about when you talk about everybody else. You're like, oh, well, Miami's great. Now Miami sucks. Oh, Dallas is great. Now Dallas sucks.
No, I say they're very good. You're just trying to counteract my point on having the Ravens higher than the Eagles.
I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny how.
I didn't flip-flop at all. I still think the Dolphins are very good. Look
So
at my
then
power ranking.
That was a good win.
Yes, I think it is a good one. Absolutely. Also, the Dolphins weren't healthy. You just named all the injuries for the 49ers, and they haven't passed for all their injuries. The Dolphins haven't been healthy for the last few weeks. And by the way, they just lost Jalen Phillips.
They didn't get a pass. We had
everyone else gets a pass on injuries.
7.
But everyone else gets a pass on injuries. The Dolphins haven't been healthy.
All right. I'm going to claim that now.
They're literally just getting healthy the last 3 weeks.
I mean, the Ravens I'm looking at their games right now. And, I mean, other than a loss to the Colts week 3, the other 2 are division games. So I I consider division games to be close. Like if you lose a division game, I don't think it's like losing to like.
Again, I don't think it's drastic. I do think it's like a coin flip with them and Philly. I think it's very close. I just don't think Baltimore is getting the respect that they deserve. I've been on Philly's ass all season, to be honest. And you were the one from out of the gate. I think Philly's going to struggle. I don't think Philly's going to be as good. I've been on Philly's wiener the whole season. I think Philly's very good. I just don't like that Baltimore isn't getting the credit they deserve. Like I said, everyone's darling in Detroit. They waxed them, beat the shit out of them.
I don't think we've had Detroit. Well, besides, who was the people who put Detroit high this one? It wasn't me.
There's probably me.
I didn't have.
I might have put them.
So
in
Colton,
that
you
spot.
and I didn't have them top 5.
We've been very similar on Detroit. It's been Will and Dom, smoking the Detroit pipe over here.
Me and Will both had them at 5.
That Motor City.
Great. Like they're not a top 5 team. Detroit. No way.
Like I had them high to start the season, and they had some speed wobbles. I'm.
I think they're very good, but like again, it's one spot. So I'm like, Colton, what are you arguing about? It's one spot, sure. I don't know. I think the Dolphins are easily better than Detroit right now. I think they would railroad them too. By the way, I think the Dolphins would light them up. And then if the Dolphins have a big enough lead on Detroit, they are not a comeback team. You saw it Thursday night on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Green Bay had them, and they
can't run the ball. They're done.
They're not built on coming back. So if the Dolphins were to put up 14 quick on them, that takes away their game plan on wanting to run the football, and it turns Jared Goff to sit back and pass the ball and have fun. That is not going to be fun with Christian Wilkins and Bradley Chubb.
I just don't have the sample size I would like to have for Miami. I would like to see.
Well, again, I could be smoking the Dolphins pipe as well, and we'll find out when they're playing Dallas the next few weeks, Baltimore the next few weeks. Yeah. We'll find out how good Miami is.
Those are games I'd like to see. I'd like to see the Dolphins be down in a game and have to work back too, because they play easy opponents, then they're just like immediately up, and it's just like that's the whole game, done deal. Like
that's what they do. Like it's
bad guys, it's bad teams. It's like
no, I'm saying like if they go out get a quick lead on Dallas, like it's the first one they play, right?
Yeah,
they play Dallas first.
Well, I would like to see them get a quick lead on Dallas, and if they do, I'd be impressed.
That's what I was saying, because I thought you were just going to make preempting the argument to say that they got up early and it didn't matter.
Well, that's how I feel about the games where they're playing bad teams. They're getting up early because they're clearly better. I mean, I have them at 6 for me.
They were also banged up when they played Philly, and they were kind of in the game. They were very, very much in that game. I think, Tua threw a pick late? Is that what happened? Did Tua throw a pick late when they were going down to, I think it was an 8-point
That's
game?
the other part, too, man.
He threw a bad pick.
I mean, Philly or Tua's playing great and whatnot, but I just feel like he does not need to be forced to make decisions ever. And when he does, they don't do well. And that's my issue with that is they play bad teams who aren't forcing Tua to really, like, break down stuff fast and be able to spontaneously do stuff, improvise. He just has people open. It works. Their running game's great. Like, and it's just, they're never in a spot where he really has to do all that much.
Yeah, Dom,
crazy.
That was the adjustment in the second half, because just like in both the Chiefs and Miami when we played them, the second half was 0 points against in the second half for both of them. So like they did, the adjustment was they threw off the timing of all those crossing and timing plays that Miami has, and then it forced Tua to make a big play, and he threw the pick.
I just think Tua, there's so much around him that goes on that helps him, and he never really gets put in that position.
You could say it about a lot of teams. You can make the same case with Brock Purdy. He's the MVP, and if you put Brock Purdy,
it's true.
You put Brock Purdy in Detroit, he's not an MVP candidate. He's just not.
But that San Fran team is just a juggernaut, and we all know. I mean,
that's my point. I mean,
I think he would do better than Goff, to be honest.
Maybe.
What's that?
I think Purdy would do better in Detroit than Goff. I think Purdy's better at not relying on play action as much. Like Goff,
I don't know. He's got the genius of an offensive coordinator and a freaking multi-purpose back in McCaffrey. Debo, when he's healthy, he's top five wide receiver in the game. Versatile he is. Again, that's what's great. The top of the league is definitely, we're in a great place, and it sucks with all the injuries for the quarterbacks. I think we would have a wild season if everyone was healthy. But again, I love the conversation. I know we didn't have much headlines today, so this was great. The power rankings today and the little disagreements and conversation pieces at the top. But again, that's what's great. The next few weeks, like the Dolphins' schedule is must-watch television with their schedule coming up. Ravens, Cowboys, like that is must-watch television.
Which is it next week with Dallas and Miami?
I believe so, yes.
Dallas has a tough schedule, man. So if they are able to pull it out, I mean, they deserve this 4th spot if they're able to pull out some of those games because coming up, it's kind of tough. But
I have no idea what the schedule's for all these.
Well, just hearing Phillies this week, obviously, division, whatever, that's going to happen. But like, also, you just named how, backup quarterbacks, that kind of stuff. And looking at this power rankings, I'm excluding Jacksonville because they haven't really played their backup yet. So I'm going to exclude that. Their power rankings are there because, of Trevor Lawrence. And other than that, man,
that's where I think they belong, though. Even with the healthy Trevor Lawrence, I think that they're
I agree
right there.
But what I'm saying is, we don't see a backup quarterback starting a game till win on here. The Steelers, and again, that's been Kenny Pickett pretty much most of the season anyway. So I don't know if I should exclude that. Then we're down to Cleveland, so we don't really see a team that's just been rocking backup quarterbacks play until the 16th spot. Which is, that goes away.
Those teams down there, this would be totally different power rankings. Like the Bengals would be a top 5 team with Joe Burrow.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know where
I'm just saying.
I'm curious where Cleveland would be with a healthy Deshaun. Like Deshaun hasn't been impressive even when he was healthy this season.
Sure.
So I don't know where they'd be. I think they'd be probably around this area, the top 15.
Yeah,
like
he showed how good he was against the Ravens game where he suffered that shoulder injury.
Yeah, but that's one.
Showed how bad he was.
Season, that's not good for what he's getting paid.
I know, but like hey, going into Baltimore, you're beating an NFC North team. Like, I don't know if that was going to be something like, oh, hey, that's the Deshaun of old where we saw
he had
Houston.
a great game, I think, the week before the Steelers, and then he looked like dog water.
Yeah,
it was the week after the Steelers. One of the he had a great week. It was like, oh, it was Deshaun.
Yeah, it was against the Titans. Yeah.
But I'm just saying it goes to show what health does for these teams, obviously, because the top 15 teams are pretty much majorly healthy, especially when it comes to the quarterback play. So it shows, bad or unhealthy quarterbacks, how bad stuff gets, that whole second half of this power rankings. So I don't know if we want to move on. We've been on the power rankings.
Yeah,
on this page
with this, which is looking ahead with some of the teams.
Yeah. What'd you show me?
I was trying to show you that the Dallas' remaining schedule.
Yeah, what is it?
So it's Eagles game this week, Bills, Dolphins, Lions, Commanders.
It's brutal. That's must-watch television.
I think that's learning.
Where's Dallas on primetime? We always bitch about Dallas always being on primetime. I'll take Dallas on primetime all these games.
Yeah, to what you were saying. 8 o'clock for 8:15.
Okay. I mean, that's not bad.
And probably one on a Saturday or something with Commanders. That's the last week of the year.
Let's recap. What was everyone's favorite games and or moments from week 13?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short. I said quite a bit, so I'm going to give a big shout out to the man that absolutely ran all over Pittsburgh in his return to Erie, Pennsylvania, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Revenge game for James Conner.
Gosh, I forgot he existed.
I kind of did too.
I forgot that he existed, man.
He's been hurt a lot this season. That's why.
Yeah.
He missed 4 or 5 weeks, and the Cardinals blow, so it's really not a great, reason to remember him. But James Conner, steamrolling the Steelers in a revenge game. Hats off to you, sir.
Yeah, I'll give my credit to the Thursday Night Football game this past week. 0 punts. The fifth game, the only fifth game in NFL history where no punts were punted.
Wow.
Game.
See, don't know how I feel about that.
That's wild, though. Good for that. Good. I mean, it was a good game. It was a great game. Both teams were in it to the very, very end. There were some comebacks and lead changes and stuff, and both teams needed to make comebacks at different times. It was a great game.
Mine are just funny.
What are yours?
Big Dom.
Big Dom getting kicked out.
And
with Hargrave or Greenlaw.
The fact that the Eagles, for the first time, I can't tell you how long, signed a linebacker.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that last week, too.
Well, yeah. It was a possibility.
Gosh, what a shit score in the Patriots game. 6-0,
I
man.
can't believe that.
Just, I mean, why?
How is that possible?
If he wanted a really good nap, that was the game to take a nap to.
Facts. Also, Brandon Staley, all right, and the Chargers. So the Patriots have let up less than 10 points and still lost the game the last 3 weeks in a row. All right, the only time in NFL history that has ever happened. And Brandon Staley and the Chargers scored the least amount of points out of those 3 weeks. I think someone scored 9 points, Giants scored 10, and then Brandon Staley with the Chargers, who clearly needs to be fired.
Somehow
He ran up the score. I can't believe him.
Yeah, ran up the score to 6 points. What a joke.
All right, so this is also the third week in a row that we haven't put the graphic up when it's needed to be.
Power rankings week anyway. So, but next week, we really need to. I'll make the graphic. Colton might have
Which one? What graphic?
The graphic.
the
The one.
The meter. The Brandon Staley.
Oh,
Very hot right now. Extremely hot.
Well, I mean, he's already basically fired, right? Like
You would think.
he said, barring a miracle, he's going to get fired at the end of the year.
Who said that?
There was the report out on. I think JPA posted it.
That needs to happen. It definitely needs to happen.
I think it was a Schultz report, but still.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we talked about that. I was next to you when that happened. Also, that Texans Broncos game was a great game. And D'Amico Ryan, bro, on the sideline. Did you guys see how pumped that dude was?
Well, that's just D'Amico.
He was sick. He was psyched when they won that game, dude. He was fist pumping. He was pumped, and that was cool. Good for him and the Texans.
let's look ahead. Buy, sell, and hold of players and teams following week 13.
I will be buying D'Amico Ryans for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, that's where I'm buying.
Hands down.
Dan Campbell let me down.
Mm.
The speed wobble is just still wobbling. And I think Colton's
trying so hard. I'm selling Colton's phone is what I'm doing.
It's a good sell.
I'm selling Apple.
It's good stuff.
I'm going to buy into Kyron Williams from the Los Angeles Rams. He's back and he has a vengeance. Yeah. And the only reason why they scored, Sean McVay joked and says he's on my fantasy team, so I needed the points.
Nice.
Very late in the game.
Nice. He also leveled Myles Garrett, by the way, which was impressive. Blocking, I mean, it was, there was an offensive lineman also blocking Myles Garrett at the time, and then Kyron Williams came in and just absolutely leveled him. That was impressive. Good for him. I don't know. That wasn't from this past week, right? Or was it?
Oh, yeah, that was definitely. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. Yeah, good for him. Kyron Williams. Nice job. I mean, dude is lighting it up. Him and Puka Nacua are just absolutely nuts for the Rams, and good for the Rams for just two absolute hits on those two players. Like, you don't see that often. But yeah, good for them. Buy, sell, hold. I don't know who I want to buy.
Like, again, I don't know who
you've previously. And now I'm lost too.
It's okay. No one looks him up. You can buy, sell, and hold whatever you want.
Same team 17 times in a row.
Sure.
And unless we had a decent memory. I'm okay. Buy. I'm looking for buys. I might buy into the Colts a little bit, honestly. I know I just flamed Will about the Colts, him putting them 10. I don't believe that. But
I can't say I'm surprised that you're doing this right now.
But I will buy the Colts a little bit because
I'm buying into Dom every week, talking either shit or talking up, and then taking the opposite in his picks the same week.
That's a hell of a buy.
Because it's every week. It's an automatic hit.
It is. You can count that every single week.
Oh, I'm just gonna rest right there. We can move on to holds.
And this man's whole career.
I don't care. Unless Will bought Kyron Williams.
Yeah, I already bought. I don't have any sells. I don't have anything to sell off on. I got 2 holds.
I'm selling off on it. I've had my crown on the whole time for the Saints. I am off of it. Goodbye. You're dead to me. I'm tired of dying on the hill. Even though I think, again, I picked you this week. I'm selling Lenny Dash. Get the hell out of here.
Once and for all, Colton. That's it, huh?
Sir,
Yeah,
you
I'm
did.
selling on the Saints.
Nice.
I'll say my holds. I'm going to hold on the Colts. I'm going to hold on to the Bengals. Let's see what both teams could do as they face this week.
I'll piggyback those holds. I'm going to piggyback those.
I'm going to continue to hold Detroit. They're a good team. They are just continuing to speed wobble, and they need to figure this out real quick. Or, I mean, Green Bay could catch them, right? Like,
yeah, Green Bay could catch them.
For sure. I'm going to hold Seattle because I think, they had a great game against Dallas, and it really just came down to they barely lost that game. And they could get it back together. Kenneth Walker might be back this week. So maybe, he was a big part of the first half of their season, maybe arguably like a top 3 running back in the first half of the season. Had like at least a touchdown every single week. That was huge. So him being back is kind of big for them. They could get it back together and back on track. Yeah. So I'm going to hold on to Seattle for sure.
I wanted to buy or hold them just because they finally had a good offensive performance, and
they slid for sure a little bit there.
I got one more buy. I'm going to buy in the Rockstar for finally releasing the trailer for GTA 6. Despite, an employee's son leaking it early, and, that was pretty funny, so they're forced to release it early. But, yeah, still got to wait another 10 years for it to come in anyway.
I'm just going to sell Colton's phone. I'm piggybacking that one.
Piggybacking the Colton. Colton, is that your actual phone? Like your legit phone?
No, it's the phone for the hose, obviously.
Yeah, I got 2 phones. What are you talking about?
And let's get into this here. Week 14. So we got 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. We got 5 weeks left of picks.
Yeah.
On our way to 272. 193 games have been played so far through the season. And let's look at where we are in the standings. Yep. There it is.
I'm back to tying you, Colton. So, that's kind of where I'm at, but I'm 5 games back.
Yep, 113 and 8.
God, can we talk about this? Will has just been on the slide all season.
Yeah, I led the first 2 weeks. I think I was still in at week 3, and then that was kind of the end of it. 11
games.
That if I didn't have that week where I had 2 wins, I think I would be kind of back. But instead, everything
it just proves the second year we did the podcast, you're a fraud. That second year of you getting you're just not it, man. It's proven as a fraud.
I think I even had a comeback that year too.
Yeah, again, every blind squirrel finds a nut,
hell.
and you found your nut, and adios amigos. You're gonna stay in the dilly, the pit of misery down there. Well,
yep, I'm there with your Mike Tomlin tweet.
I thought you might have had the little the claw that you pick up garbage with, or if you're an older person that reads the high up things, I thought you grabbed Dom's ankle and said, "Hey, buddy," and he's got 6
I blame my 2-win week. That was just horrendous.
It's so funny that you had a 2-win week. We all had a bad week that week. I think our best.
I think the best one was 6 wins.
6, yeah, it was a bad week, but you had a 2-win week, and that is.
Yeah, if I had 4 or 5 that week, I would be, I'd be up there with the big dogs, but I'm at the kiddie table right now.
What the big dogs eat?
I got kicked out of the bar because my ID was real, and the bouncer just wants to be all tough and stuff. Here we go. But the worst Thursday night football game of all time, the New England Patriots at the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are all sweeping Pittsburgh. Do we all think that this game's going to combine for over 20 points?
The Steelers want people to wear black. And a lot of the Steelers fans are like, it's for the Patriots' funeral. I'm like, no, it's for America's funeral. No. What?
What is? Please,
what's the over under on this game? I am 30, generally curious.
30.
5.
30.
It can't be 30 and a half.
Nah. Oh my god.
No, there ain't no way.
There's not.
It's 30 and a half.
Yeah, it's 30 and a half.
The last time Zeke did play in Pittsburgh, he ran all over Pittsburgh. He had 190 total yards and 3 scores.
Wasn't that also the rookie year with Dallas?
Listen, can I just dream a little bit? Maybe lightning can't strike twice.
Great game.
Gosh, bro.
So we are all sweeping Pittsburgh. I'm not talking about this anymore.
Amen.
Houston at the Jets. We are all taking Houston. I'm not going to speak about this. I don't know. I'm convinced MetLife's built on a Native American burial ground. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Or
Everything's
maybe
cursed
it's
about it.
on bad turf. But continue.
Apparently, it came out this week that they can't grow grass there because of where they're located.
Got it.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, in harsher conditions, in a worse climate, have grass. Piss off.
The Packers
Woody
have grass.
Johnson and John Mara. Piss
Lem-
off, you idiots.
Let me decode that for you, Colton. We are cheap.
Yes, and keep losing players, especially when you go all in on a 40-year-old franchise quarterback. Good luck to you, New York. Good night, San Diego.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Let's see. The Los Angeles Rams at the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, you can give it the Ravens.
We're all taking the Ravens.
Will, bench room.
That was
Get in the bench room.
funny. That was so funny.
Get in the bench room.
We're all taking the Ravens. I just wanted to finish the quote. That's all I wanted to do. We're all taking Baltimore here. We got Carolina at New Orleans. 3 of us are taking New Orleans, and Dom has to actually think about this.
Are you kidding me?
So last time they played, Carolina only lost by 3. Okay.
Please make the pick. These two are
Do it.
2 dumpster fires. You don't need
Do
to
it.
spend 10 years.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Jameis Winston is playing.
Do
I think
the
it's
thing.
going to be a garbage game. I'm going to pick Carolina. Screw it. I'm going to do it. Bro,
Here's Will's comeback. Here it is.
I don't even.
Go get him, Will. Yeah,
I only have.
Watch out. He's going to do the thing.
It's 100-foot hole. I see him. He's trying to climb out.
I'm telling you, if he catches him, Dom, you owe all of us $5 if Will catches you.
Okay. I only have like a 2-game difference from Colton this week, so I might as well make that 3 with this and see what the heck
God,
happens.
this is awful. Well, thanks for the layup.
Indianapolis at Cincinnati. We are splitting this. Dom and Jake both picked the Colts, while Colton and I picked the Bengals.
I hate you, Will.
Well,
I want you to know that I hate you.
That doesn't make me feel confident.
I want to know that I want you to know I hate you for you putting them 10 and me thinking that's insane, and then you not picking them is wild.
So wait, we'll pull the Dom.
Yeah, we'll pull the Dom.
Listen, I didn't sell them and says, "Oh man, I'm taking them this week. They have all the confidence in the world. Here we go."
No, I bought them. What are you talking about?
No. There's multiple times this year where like, yeah, I'm selling off on them. Like, I'm not doing them. But then you're like, yeah, we're gonna go. We're doing it.
No, did I?
Yes.
Well, Will did it worse, so I don't want to hear it.
We got Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Colin is the only one that's taking the Buccaneers. Meanwhile, I wrote, I'm taking your favorite team of all time.
Nice.
Yeah,
What size Bijan Robinson jersey are you? I'll make sure you can rep that everywhere you go.
Who, me?
Yeah. Who you? Like, who else doesn't want them?
Get me a Texas jersey and I'd do it. Do not, anything.
No, he's got to get a Ritter.
He's throwing it in the fire pit in the backyard if that
I'm
is
throwing it in
even
the fire. Actually,
remotely
no,
close
I'm
to the
not
property.
I'm not into the burning jerseys. Like, I would just go donate. Like, there's someone that would gladly love to have a jersey. So even if it's, I like an awful jersey, like a Le'Veon Bell Steelers jersey, like someone would love to have that. So yeah, no.
What about a
if you
Le'Veon Bell?
seriously are, I'll
jersey?
definitely rock a horns, hook 'em.
Well, do
Hook 'em.
you have a Bell Jets jersey?
No, I never got it. I got the Darnold Jets jersey.
Oh, that was more important.
Yes, it was. I still think he's the future of the franchise. But
It's like Gino.
there you go.
Gino's coming back.
Listen, man. Hey, I rode the Geno train, and I still have not been given my flowers for keeping faith in him for 10 years.
You're gonna hold that one all the way down to the bottom.
Will,
And that's what I'm doing.
Will's taking it to his grave.
as Will's friend, I never stopped hearing about Geno Smith since high school.
No.
So I mean, that's
I can.
Dom has not stopped hearing about Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, and then the N64 Classic remake that is never coming out from Nintendo. Those are the 3 things he has heard, and they will be said, to the grave.
Yeah.
Jacksonville at Cleveland. We are all taking Cleveland on this one, despite we are not sure who the quarterback is. It's either DTR, mostly quarterback to ever play the game.
That's
banking
definitely
on
Joe. It's definitely Joe Flacco.
yeah. I'm banking on Flacco.
Joe Cool. And then we got Detroit at Chicago. We're all sweeping Detroit here. I'm just gonna start raffling these out because they're all sweeps. Seattle at San Francisco. We're all taking San Francisco in the rematch that happened. Wow, it would be 17 days prior. And then we go to Minnesota at Las Vegas. We have a split here. Jake and Colton are taking the Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, Dom and I are taking the Skull Vikings and the Pastronaut.
And Justin Jefferson's back, right? So
Justin Jefferson will be playing this week.
that's kind of
you saw his Josh Dobbs throwing him the football. Sorry, so
hey man.
He's hitting the gritty. I'm just saying. I'm excited.
This should be one I take Minnesota, but
Surprised you didn't.
Go ahead.
no, I'm not doing it.
A little bit of your own advice that you get
Nah.
in football season.
Nah, I'm good. I don't pull this man's shenanigans.
And then we got Denver at the Chargers. We are all taking the Broncos. If you told us this week one that we all be taking the Broncos, I would
Yeah, this is
call you a
wild.
fraud.
I think we all read the schedule and was like, "Yep, Chargers win."
You sure
That's
did. God. You know what? And the thing is, I can see the Chargers winning, but I'm not putting a slight chance on taking the Chargers. I'd rather. all of us
we
take it
should all write down bets of how will Brandon Staley blow this game.
That's a good one. Or how many drops?
It
will
would be
Brandon
possible.
Have? That's all together.
He
He'll
doesn't
go for it on 4th and 1 on his own 11.
take a knee, fumbles, they run it back.
Any possible chance that he can.
No. They could kick a game-tying field goal. Justin Herbert knees it instead of spiking it. No timeouts left. Boop.
Or do we get a kick six?
That would be Chargers fashion. That would be.
Let's see. Then we got Buffalo at Kansas City. We're all taking the Chiefs here. I'm very surprised, but I'm not surprised at the same time here.
This I think is a must-win for Kansas City. To
Yeah.
right the ship, they have to win this game.
Definitely.
Like they have not looked good. Like this is a must win. If it sounds stupid because like they have the division, I'm pretty sure going to be on the lock. I mean, unless Denver wins this and then Denver plays them again, that will be huge. But they got to win this game.
Yeah, Buffalo's not good.
Josh Allen's playing a hell of a lot better. That's what scares me if I'm Kansas City right now.
And they're coming off the bye too, so
Still gonna make a fatal mistake at the wrong time.
Then we got Sunday Night Football. Dallas, Philadelphia at Dallas. I am lone wolfing the Dallas Cowboys this week. I'm either raiding my ship or I'm sinking with it. Chances are, that really infamous song with the Titanic will be playing in the background next week.
This is the nail in your coffin. I really wish it was Dom, so it'd make it really interesting catching them. But I think you just gifted one here to Dom. You could switch, Will, please.
Nah, I'm not Dom. I don't need a bone. There's still time. There's time.
If San Fran lost, like if Philly won this past week, I might be taking Dallas. But I think they're too hungry. I think it's just like you don't. There's no way.
By the way, I told you guys San Fran was going to win. I told you.
Did you pick him? He picked them, didn't he?
Well,
I sure did. Did I lone wolf San Fran?
Oh, I picked them too, but
again, I'm just not going to not pick the Eagles.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
That's fair.
Oh, you can. You can in the jinx form. I've done it plenty.
You can't purpose.
But also,
jinx.
we don't
I count that.
have Mike Tomlin, so that kind of doesn't work.
Ooh, it's a good one. It's a good one.
And then we got a doubleheader Monday Night Football game this week too. First one, Green Bay at the Giants. We're all taking Green Bay. And I will go on to the next one. The Titans are at Miami. We're all taking Miami here. They're both being aired at the same time. 8:15. One's on ESPN and one is on ABC. So
we're gonna get that done.
Probably.
Because that's the most unwatchable thing. Like,
What's
if I wanted to watch,
they did a split screen. No, Fox did a split screen when the Jets and the Eagles played because the Niners and the Browns game went like way over, and they were split screening like the entire Eagles first drive. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I just want to watch.
2 weeks when they did this 2 Monday night games, no matter which one you watched, ABC and ESPN, they played them both at the same time. And I'm like, if I wanted to watch the one, I'd go watch the one.
I don't remember what happens with the Manning cast on this.
There's no Manning cast this week.
Thank the Lord.
the thing that I can say I've never watched.
I hate the Manning. I mean, I don't watch it. I just think it's dumb. But
I only watched them when Rogers was on it because I just wanted to see what stupid stuff he'll say that ESPN will just start cringing at.
I would watch it if it was a show. I would not watch it because
It's not even a show. It sucks.
No, I'm saying if it was an hour-long show, I would definitely consider watching it. But it's not a sports broadcast. It's a show. You don't call it like it's the worst sports broadcast I've ever seen. This past week, they were mid-play, a couple plays in a row, and they just have Tua on playing acoustic guitar instead of broadcasting the game. Bro, that's not what I'm sorry, that's not a sports broadcast. If you want to have a show in the middle of the week, separate with both Manning dudes on it, and you get the guests on and shit, all about that, I would watch it. They're funny guys, 100%.
Yeah, like put it on like Wednesday night. Like,
yeah, about it, 100%. Broadcast? Fuck no. It's my least favorite thing in the world. It's my least favorite thing in the world, and they only pull like 10% of the viewers of what the actual game has on ABC or whatever.
Well, I'm not here to like hear Eli Manning talk about King's Hawaiian rolls and Frank's Red Hot. I don't want to hear it.
Again, if it was a show, I think it's really awesome. I'm all about it, but it's just not a broadcast. I think it's an awful broadcast. So I'm good.
And also, just not a good product, even if you were there to listen to the jokes.
Well,
it's not
for 4 hours or whatever. A 1 hour show with the Manning brothers, all about it. I would watch that separate, not during a game.
And
my rant.
And that concludes our show. You can follow us or listen to us next day on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just look up For the Fan, and hopefully you can find us. Make it one word, and you'll definitely find us there. YouTube For the Fan Network, TikTok For the Fan Network, Twitter or X For the Fan _, and Instagram For the Fan Football. Any final thoughts, causes, concerns? Nothing about the Manning cast, please and thank you.
I'm just a little mad Will didn't go to the bathroom when I told him to. Just,
I gotta host a damn show. What else am I supposed to do?
Take you and your dumb sweater out of here.
Listen, Jingle Bell Rock. Okay, that's all I care about. Meanwhile, Dom has his entire Christmas suit, and I'm not getting.
I'm wearing it at the moment. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Listen to us next time. Thank you.